Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be explaining about separate procedures in CPT with example. Understanding separate procedures might seem difficult, but if you understand the concept, it's definitely going to be easy. Before starting, don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe my channel CodeMind Mastery. And feel free to comment below if you have any doubts. Let's start. This is the explanation about separate procedure which is given in your CPT manual. I'll read it out. Some of the procedures or services listed in the CPT codebook that are commonly carried out as an integral component of a total service or procedure have been identified by the inclusion of the term separate procedure. The codes designated as separate procedure should not be reported in addition to the code for the total procedure or service of which it is considered an integral component. However, when a procedure or service that is designated as a separate procedure is carried out independently or considered to be unrelated or distinct from other procedures, services, provided at that time, it may be reported by itself or in addition to other procedures, services by appending modifier 59 to the specific separate procedure code to indicate that the procedure is not considered to be component of another procedure, but is a distinct independent procedure. This may represent a different session, different procedure or surgery, different site or organ system, separate incision, excision, separate lesion or separate injury, or area of injury in extensive injuries. It may seem a bit difficult for you to understand this explanation. So let us start by what is a separate procedure. A separate procedure is a term used to describe a procedure that is usually part of a more comprehensive procedure. For example, this code 29870 arthroscopy knee diagnostic with or without synovial biopsy. In the bracket, they have given separate procedure. So whenever they have mentioned separate procedure in front of a code, it means that this particular procedure is usually part of a more comprehensive procedure. The meaning of the word comprehensive here is full or complete. So this particular procedure in front of which separate procedure term is given, this procedure will usually be part of a full or complete procedure. There are several points to remember about separate procedure. That is, if a separate procedure is performed as a part of a more extensive procedure, it is not coded separately because it is already a part of a more extensive procedure. Therefore, we need not code it separately. Second, a separate procedure can be coded on its own if it is the only procedure performed. So if in front of a code they have mentioned separate procedure and that procedure is the only procedure performed, then you are going to code it. Second, it is performed at a different site or through different incision during the same session. It means that separate procedure can be coded if it is performed at a different site or through a different incision during the same session. Let us understand this better by looking at an example. So this is example 1. The procedure is diagnostic arthroscopy of knee. Okay. So the CPT code for diagnostic arthroscopy of the knee is 29870. Arthroscopy knee diagnostic with or without synovial biopsy, separate procedure. Okay, now let us look at a scenario. If this diagnostic arthroscopy is performed alone, you can code it separately. It means that if they are performing diagnostic arthroscopy alone, there is no other procedure performed, you can code it separately. However, if it is done along with a more extensive procedure like a meniscus repair, the CPT code is 29882. If this separate procedure is done along with the more extensive procedure like meniscus repair, you will not bill the diagnostic arthroscopy separately because it is considered part of the more comprehensive procedure. It means that the diagnostic arthroscopy, which is a separate procedure, is already a part of the more comprehensive procedure, that is meniscus repair. Therefore, we will not code it separately. Next example. Scenario: a patient with a rectal abscess undergoes an incision and drainage. During the same session, the surgeon reduces a recurrent inguinal hernia. So, in this case, removal of rectal abscess is unrelated to the hernia repair, right? Therefore, both procedures should be reported. Let us look at the appropriate codes. 49520 is for repair recurrent inguinal hernia, any age, reducible, and 46040 is for incision and drainage of ischiorectal and or perirectal abscess, separate procedure. So this is a separate procedure. In this particular case, we are coding this separate procedure because it is unrelated to the hernia repair. Therefore, we can code it. We have to append modifier 59 to the separate procedure. Therefore, the correct coding would be 49520 with 46040 with modifier 59. An important note: since the incision and drainage of the rectal abscess is a separate procedure and distinct from the hernia repair, we append modifier 59 to 46040 to indicate this. So that's all about separate procedures. The important points to remember is that if a separate procedure is performed as a part of a more extensive procedure, we are not coding it separately. A separate procedure can be coded if it is the only procedure performed and it is performed at a different site or through a different incision during the same session.